Michael Dorn once again talks about the possibility of having a Worf-centric show. Ethan Peck talks more about the possibility of a Pike-centric show. And Picard supposedly wraps up filming sometime this week. Let's pour it up! Okay, so the first story that we're going to get into is about Michael Dorn and the Worf-centric show. Now, Michael's been kind of pitching this thing for quite a few years now. I think it started back in 2013-ish time frame, where he had this idea, if some of you guys don't remember, that Worf would have his own TV show, and he would have like a little crew, and they would basically be on a Klingon ship, and they would go on Klingon-focused adventures, but within the same vein of the original series in TNG, where each episode was kind of self-contained, they had a little different adventure stuff, and kind of have like a little message at the end there, very similar to that, which was the old kind of style of TNG, TOS, Star Trek that we used to have. I don't know how I feel about this. He supposedly is talking a little bit to Alex Kurtzman that he disclosed over the weekend in Philadelphia, that he was talking at a convention, and he supposedly is talking to some of the people in the Global Franchise Group to try to see what's going on there, to see if there's a possibility of him putting the show back out there and getting something made, potentially even as a short trek. But I don't really know how I feel about this, because I feel like we had a lot of Klingons in TNG. There was a lot in DS9. We had them a lot in the movies, and then we got hit over the head with them again in Star Trek Discovery Season 1. So I don't know if we really need more Klingons. I feel like I might have a little bit of a Klingon burnout, but I want to hear what you guys think about that, because maybe I'm just being picky. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being sour. The next story I want to go ahead and briefly touch on, which is that Ethan Peck was at Trek Ticonderoga over the weekend, where he did again share some idea that him, Rebecca Romaine, and Anson Mount all have the desire to have a proper spinoff for the TOS show. I mean, of course, as an actor, he would love that because that's fame and money and attention. So, of course, that's what he wants. But I bring this up because it's not anything new information, but I feel like there was some people kind of upset about the fact that we didn't get an Anson Mount announcement at Star Trek Las Vegas, myself included, but some people kind of spun that even further, which is to say that it's not going to happen at all. But the fact that the actors are still advertising it, you know, in these different Trek-related conventions, it makes me feel like they're still trying to keep the buzz alive and get people interested and aware of the fact that they're still going to be potentially working that, which I still absolutely think that they will be doing that. So that's just kind of, I wanted to bring that up again to show that Ethan Peck and the rest of them are still really talking about it, really trying to keep that buzz alive, which is good, because if they let it die off and then they announce it, you know, too late in the game, people may not be as interested to come all the way back. But I don't know, maybe that's just me kind of being a little too negative on my speculation side. The final story that we're going to be talking about today comes from James McKinnon, who is one of the lead makeup and visual effects artists for Star Trek Picard, who posted this image up on Instagram, basically saying that this was the last week of filming for Star Trek Picard, or at least for his specific team. So either that means that the production itself is ending this week, or that they're kind of going home, which they're so related to everything that's going on day-to-day filming. I feel like this means that the show itself will be wrapping up filming by the end of this week, and potential reshoots at a later on. So this is actually pretty exciting. We had filming starting in March, April, May, and then through June, July, and now through the end of August. So that's quite a long shoot. That's quite a big amount of footage and stuff like that they would put together. And of course, they're going to be wrapping up all of the visual effects and the final touches on editing and sound effects and all that stuff for our potential February 2020 release of Star Trek Picard. So I think it's a congratulations to all of them. I'm really excited to see what the final product is. I think everyone is excited based off of the trailer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the show's going to be great. But as of right now, I think everyone's super excited to see what the final product is that they're going to be presenting to us. So congratulations to that crew, and I can't wait to enjoy the product that you guys put together. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into the rumor rundown. Okay, so the only little rumor that I kind of came across this week that I thought was a little bit interesting, which kind of, again, falls into the same vein of rumors that we've heard about before. This one is directed towards Star Trek Discovery, which is that, again, Alex Kurtzman is still fired, and that there is a bunch of more people have been hired on to try to manage and maintain the Season 3 of Discovery, and that the entire show itself may run out of money before the season's over, and that the season potentially is not short treks anymore, but only 6 episodes or less, and that they may just be trying to do like one long like mini-series to wrap up the series before it gets canceled. I haven't found anything to support that. We've been getting nothing but photos nonstop posted up on Instagram from Doug Jones, Wilson Cruz, Sonequa Martin Green, the other production staff that's there, Michelle Paradise, and all these things like that. So that they are still filming, that it's still ongoing. We do know that they started filming probably in the first or second half of July. So that means they're kind of like in the middle of it right now. So if they magically announce like next week, that they stop filming, then maybe that kind of is a little suspect, but I would highly doubt that that's what's going to happen. So they're going to probably continue to do a standard 14 episodes, which is kind of in line with the first and second seasons. I haven't heard anything official about the amount of seasons that have come out yet, but assuming that it's going to be less, there's no reason to do that either. In fact, it potentially could even be more. So we don't really know exactly what they're planning on doing there. So there's really no validity to any of that. There's no supporting evidence to do that. So there's nothing really to debunk or to prove that there's nothing there. But history so far of seasons 1 and 2 have shown us that it's going to be over at least 10 episodes. So I feel like that's a fair thing to assume. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our very first Star Trek trivia question. Okay, so this Star Trek trivia question is rather simple, but potentially a little bit difficult. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to read off a trivia question for you guys each episode, and in the next episode, the follow-up episode, I will provide you guys with the answer, and you guys can go ahead and throw up your answers down below to try to see if you guys guess it right. So this very first question, this flagship question, is what was the name of the ancient Vulcan ritual that they used to transpose Spock's Katra, his essence, out of McCoy's head back into Spock's body from the Genesis planet? What was the name of that whole Vulcan ancient process? So throw up your ideas if you think you've got it down below. I'll go ahead and throw up a little heart if you get it right. And then for those of you who don't exactly know, or you're maybe not quite sure, I will see you on the next episode where I'll give you that answer and give you a next question. So good luck. All right, let's go ahead now and jump right into the comment of the week. Okay, so this week's comment comes from users Jules A, and it says, really like your channel, so appreciate your positive, constructive, and wide audience-friendly content. Really don't want to put in a but I'm finding some of the comments of the week are not so wide audience-friendly. Love the comment of the week concept, and some make me laugh, but some I would not want my kids or grandkids watching. Well, Jules A, I think this was a great comment for me to kind of set a new standard for the comments of the week. Where moving forward, I will be using some more positive or maybe just some more general questions for the comment of the week. It's not only just going to be super negative. I tested this out in the earlier on of the Earl Grey kind of pour up stuff, and I kind of went back to all the negative stuff again. But you and a few other people have said that you'd like to see some more positive comments or some general question comments being answered in this segment. So I'm going to do my best to start rotating them so that we can get some more positivity while also some humor and maybe even some information sharing through all of us through the comments. So thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your kind words. And thank you for being hopefully a nice subscriber to the channel. So thank you so much, Jules. Okay, that wraps up today's Earl Grey pour-up. I know this was kind of a short one here, but I just wanted to get a couple of these little news bit stories out there for all of you guys to enjoy. I'm obviously the most interested to hear what you guys think about the Michael Dorn Worf show, I guess, if we want to call it that. I think it's possible that they could come back with some short treks or maybe even a limited series run, but I don't know. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of burnt out on it, so I'm curious to hear what all of you guys and gals think about that. Would you be interested in watching that? And if so, what the hell would you like Michael Dorn to look like? I feel like he would need to look a little bit like the Discovery Klingons, maybe not full on like they had with T'Kuvma with all the crazy eye, the noses and all that stuff like that, where it could be something a little bit more, maybe a little bit more past what we saw in TNG. But what would you think he should look like? I'm really curious to hear what all of you guys and gals think about that. And what do you think about the end of the Picard show wrapping up? Are you more excited now that you know that the production's wrapped up? Are you ready for another trailer, or do you want them to hold off on any more public relations trailers so you can be surprised when the show comes out? Let me know what you guys think about all that stuff down below, and let's get the conversation started. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies!